Hello, everybody. We are very close to Urumikara top station. It's about right somewhere there. Okay. So the point of making this video is just to give a comparison about how a small capacity lightweight motorcycle fares against a much larger, heavier adventure bike per se. So we now have Santa here, who would like to share his opinion with his experiences with an R15, a Tiger, and a Charisma. For now, yeah, Santa, over to you.
Hello. When we planned this trip out, and there are a lot of off-road stretches here, and they are not the sort of off-road where you go for breakfast ride and come back because these are really hard. Kind of hardcore because it's all stones. It's not.
Peace.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Just stay still. This does not look good. Oh shit! Oh shit! That wasn't planned. The ride was, but not this freak. Okay. Huh. I'd actually heard advice that stay as still when the bees pass. Good. Put it to use. Huh. So, yes. The thing is here, considering it's only mostly stones, right? A lot of big stones. We have it on the video while climbing up. So, if I brought my Tiger here, the first thing you need to realize that the bikes like Tiger or the 1250, they're really good and definitely very capable in the right hands. But you also need to realize that they come with a lot of weight, like about 250 kilos, and we are experts at getting all sort of accessories onto it and adding another 20-30 kilos, which is really good for touring. But once you get off the road, right, your skills are put to test, and the effort that it takes is a lot more. Definitely it's very comfortable because of the kind of suspension adjustments that you can do, and so. But when there are very tricky and technical obstacles, right, it becomes a problem because the ground clearance is great, but also the height. If you are even a 5'10" or a 6, you will see that you can flat foot on regular roads, but in the off-road patches the flat footing is very difficult because it's uneven. And
That's
at
more so when you're kind of paddling, right?
yes, you are, and it becomes very difficult. What happens is when you move it to the left or right, and
Mm-hmm.
then the bike's weight tends it to tip over.
Right.
That is very much possible, and you will have to have people to come help you pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about nothing happening to the bike. See, you're spending a lot on protection of those, which is great, but the amount of effort that you put in, like the way we climbed here was like just keep moving, and if you're stuck, the other person need not come and help you necessarily because the bike is so light that you can actually put your feet down and maneuver it and get it out. It's not the case with that. And generally, as a thumb rule, don't ever off-road alone. Always have a companion because however good you are at it, there are times where you will fall, and when you do, you will need help, or when you're stuck. So, see, I've been very familiar with the Charisma because I've owned one and done lay and other places on that, which is no big deal. But the advantage of, Charisma here is an example because we have the bike. But I would say at home, even if you have a bike like a CBZ Extreme or an RTR or any one of them, they're so kind of practical in these sort of environments because they have decent low end to putter through any one of these obstacles, and the lightweight helps you tackle it so easily because I would have reached here on the Tiger, definitely, no doubt, but the amount of time it would have taken me, I would have had one or two falls, and that's only while coming up.
The
I
ease
guarantee
the
you.
ease of climbing is what I mean.
Yes. Now, no, it's because it's got the torque, yes, but it's got the momentum, and one patch you can definitely come. Until you see something where you're stuck, that's where the problem starts. And going downhill is a bigger challenge because the weight
Because
of
you'll have a
that,
lot of
right?
momentum
Yes, a
on
lot
you.
of momentum, and get your electronics, no problem, switch off your ABS and all that. But on stones, right, where there's no grip, and there's dry, loose sand, it gets very challenging because the rear wants to slide out,
Right.
and the momentum, and if you're straight, you're good. Little lean, it's very difficult to correct it and get it back. So I would say that anybody who has that sort of a bike, right, it's always good that you have a secondary bike like a Himalayan or anyone where you can as well improve your skills and then put it to better use on the bigger bike, because buying is the easier part. Now, you definitely have to hone your skills by going into these sort of tricky places, but take formal training and to understand how what is done. It's not only about riding in short patches or small ruts. These difficult situations, especially these places like in the rain, it gets so difficult for people who come here regularly also. It gets more challenging. And the next comes is the expenses. I guess that is the part which is either you make it or break it sort, because once you fall on it, which you're bound to do, your indicators or your side panels, they are really expensive, and the wait times. So for about 1 or 2 months, let's insurance, zero debt, all that is fine, no problems. But you're going to shell out about 50-60K for a repair in which you would have got another used bike. Instead,
Makes sense.
no, I mean, it is very practical, because the bike that we have here, like this is just an example. I'm not flaunting charisma. It's just to say that
Right. Any smaller
yes, any
capacity,
small capacity
if it's
bike.
a decent enough power.
Yes, because these out in the market are there for about 20-30,000. Whichever model, doesn't matter, is reliable, smaller condition, can be repaired anywhere, and even if anything falls, handlebar 700, 500, indicators you get a set of 4 for 400. Then what are the other things that you can possibly break? Crash guard for 250 or 300, and foot pegs, gear levers. You can carry spare gear levers or clutch levers at 70 rupees each. So, I mean, these are something which we always ignore. Once you move over to a bigger bike, you get spoiled by the comfort. And people realize that you can travel long distances and be very comfortable, which is the fact. But the same thing does not hold good in extreme hardcore off-road. So it definitely does its job, but it needs the little bit of that extra skill, which definitely you can hone over time. But pick up that skill on smaller bikes,
And then put
and
it to
then
use on put it to use on a
yes,
larger one.
yes, because I've seen people directly hop on from a small bike to a large bike, but then they realized that they were doing much better on a smaller bike than being limited on a bigger one. So grab it, get some good training, do it on smaller bikes, and then start putting it to use on this. So yeah, I mean, I would say that these are places where people should come. Here you don't have any your fancy stuffs, comfort. So try it. I mean, there are several trails around Idukki here. Come and then give it a shot.
Sure. Thanks a lot, Santa. Okay, let's now continue with the ride. Okay, let's just see. I mean, show you what's there in store for today. Okay. We can get to the other side of the mountain as well, which we are planning to do so. Okay. We'll catch you on the other side. Bye bye. Have a nice day.